You're such an asshole.
AssholeConsulting.com. You could go there if you have a question and you actually want the truth. Like I say, we're not there to kiss your ass. We are there to solve problems. And if you want to have touchy-feely emotions, you could talk to your counselors, your teachers, your politicians, your standard psychotherapists. And if you want your problem solved, you come talk to Asshole Consulting, where we specialize in truth. Hey, asshole, I'm an 18-year-old male, and next year I will be attending an SEC school. As a freshman, my parents have offered to pay for my entire education, so I'll graduate with zero debt. My plan as of now is to graduate in 3 years by taking summer classes and start my own business. The trouble is, my passion is in finance and investing. I don't believe I will have enough saved upon graduation to start a business in those fields. I also have reservations about people trusting a 20 to 22-year-old with their money in any aspect. I'm hoping for some advice and what direction to go as an entrepreneur in finance and investing, or hear the hard truth that it can't be done. Thanks, Jeff. Well, thank you, Jeff. Your dreams aren't stupid because you're thinking along the right lines, but I want you to avoid what I had to go through, and that is spending 20 years to find out the entire industry is hopelessly corrupt and inept, and it is staffed by dude bro douches who just were too damn lazy to study calculus. They're too lazy to go on to get degrees in engineering or IT. Very few actually have a passion for finance or economics or actually helping him out. They're all salesmen. They're all scumbags. I mean, I know there's Wolf of Wall Street and Boiler Room and all that, and they kind of what was the other one that came out recently? The Big Short. I know they paint it as that. It kind of is like that. It's not too far. I know it's been sensationalized for Hollywood, but you're going up against some pretty average, but worse than that, highly corrupt, nepotistic, and connected people. And if you want to become an entrepreneur, the only real hope of you becoming an entrepreneur is something where you counter the corruption and the ineptitude of the financial services industry. So things like Betterment, robo-advisors, some where you're like, hey, I think one of the original creations, what was it? Was it not Franklin Templeton? Who was it? Magellan? Whoever came up with index funds back in the 70s, it didn't take until the 90s for his idea to take off. And that was a huge advancement to actually help the little people, to help the customers. And it took 20 years. I would just skip finance altogether. I would go into IT, I'd go STEM, I'd go military, I'd do anything else. I mean, certainly learn accounting. Maybe there's a career for you in accounting, become a CPA. That's an easier, much more effective way to get into finance, because the real skill is accounting and financial analysis. Learn how to analyze financial statements. But accounting's boring. Finance is all sales and sucking some gray pubic-haired cocksucker's cock. It just isn't worth it. I mean, I made good money in big. No way. I'd rather be a security guard. I'd rather have been a ballroom dancer, and I was both. And out of all three careers, banking was the worst and totally not worth the money. And on top of it, you're gonna have to go. It's gonna take you at least a decade to figure out how the industry really works. And you're right, no one's going to trust a 22-year-old kid. They're just not. You don't have gray hair. This is why I tell kids not to try until you're 35. Great video. Look it up. Don't try until you're 35. And then the other thing is, if you want to be an entrepreneur, why the fuck are you going to college? Go learn skills. Go learn a trade. Now, here's the problem. You're 18. You've been given no context, no bird's eye view of how the real world works, how the different industries and components and parts of our economy work, and therefore you lack the bird's eye view of saying, okay, there's a potential for profit here, there's a potential for profit there. That's why you got to go, I don't want to say necessarily into college, but into the real world and get some real world experience, specialize in something, preferably in IT, STEM, medicine, where the evolution, where the entrepreneurial opportunities exist. Because you're not going to find it you could go and become a CPA. Okay, you could be an entrepreneur that way. But you're not going to create a new thing. You're not going to come up with Facebook. You're not going to come up with Betterment. You're not going to come up. You got to be on the cutting edge of where the economy is truly evolving and growing. And going to college for a business degree or a finance degree, that's not going to be it. So I would reconsider what your interests and passions and hobbies are. I would, if you don't know, that's fine. There's nothing wrong not knowing at the age of 18, because you've been in school and they've just been doing to your brain, so you've had no time to really think about what do you really like. You're just like, fuck, another day, Jesus. So what I would do, maybe take some prereqs, sample around. Go online, have a class a night, take a tutorial a night, and learn about a new field. That's not hard to do. Just learn about, take a class at Khan's Academy, something free, something cheap. And go out there and figure out what is out there that piques your interest. And this could take a year, and that's fine. It's better for you not to go to school because you don't know what you want to do than going to school and not knowing what you want to do. You'll just piss away your time. And maybe get your prereqs out of the way or whatever else. But you got to find out what you got to do before you take your next step. Now, to help you with that, you can read my book, Bachelor Pad Economics. I'm sorry, not that one. Worthless. Young person's indispensable guide, choosing the right major. That would speak specifically to your situation. Bachelor Pad Economics wouldn't hurt, but it's a little bit more broad. Then I also have a book coming out called Reconnaissance Man that basically says before you go to school, you should take at least a year-long road trip throughout the United States. I mean, there's no, and that's going to give you more ideas and give you better perspective on where you sit in life and where you want to go in life than graduating as a senior this summer and then rushing off to UC fuck you to get your fucking degree and rape you up the ass for high tuition and book cost studies, right? So, yeah, you're not going to become an entrepreneur in finance and investment. I mean, you might, but it's not going to be until you're 35, 40. And if you are, it's going to be through IT, programming, or something else. It's not going to be because you're a salesman. It just is. And if you want to get into finance without having to go through all that bullshit, sure, get your Series 6, Series 7, Series 65, 66, 67, something like that, and go become a salesman. And it'll suck. Go work for the sales floor at some investment bank. Go work for Edward Jones. Go have fun with it. I mean, you might like it. You could be the greatest salesman ever. I mean, there's people who, you could skip college. I mean, I know a couple of people who make damn good money being financial advisors over at, like Charles Schwab or Edward Jones. But it's usually not the case. So anyway, sorry to burst your bubble, but pursuing dreams that weren't going to happen anyway are called nightmares. Toodles.